22-year-old Chelsea Bruck disappears from a Halloween party in 2014.
1 Supervisor Roberts, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm on my property on Briar Hill. I'm going to give you directions. I found a dead body on my property.
Okay. What's your address there?
It's not. It's a vacant piece of property, okay? I'm going to give you directions.
Okay.
Carlson, South Rockwood Road, and Newburgh, just over the track. Stay away from me. Don't even go near you guys. Stay away.
Okay, so you're on Briar Hill, you said, right?
Yeah?
Between Carlson, Rockwood, and Newburgh?
Yes.
Okay.
And this body, we just put dirt, because I've been filling my property.
Uh-huh.
It's been 2 years since last year. We just dug all this up for piping.
It's all right. Can you tell if it's male or female?
Female.
Female?
Hair. Blonde. Oh, you know what's killing me is I think it's that girl who's posted all over town.
There's no way. Just like Mom, Cody, and Dad loved you. Nobody loved you anymore or any less.
I'm telling you right now, I do not think you're a murderer.
I helped her get her foot in the door.
I don't think that you're a bad person. And something got out of control. And we need to know where she's at.
All I want from you.
It takes investigators almost 2 years to arrest Daniel Clay. With a history of petty crime, drugs, and assault charges, Clay can only guess why police have brought him in.
I told you, we're doing an investigation. Your name came up. I need to talk to you. Because you're arrested. I need to read you your rights. Okay? You read and write, you understand, right? So, and I'm not trying to belittle you. I just got to make sure, okay? We're investigating.
It's all over the news and stuff.
Yeah.
She worked with my kid's mom, actually, at Ovis.
Who's that?
Jessica Pribble.
Okay.
I just remember seeing her on Facebook. They had
Jessica Pribble?
Yeah.
You got a lot of girls in your life.
Okay, I do have a lot of girls in my life.
So this is what it is, all right?
Okay.
We've had over 1,137 tips.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say,
Right.
I've seen some stuff in the paper and stuff about it.
And I mean, it's been all over. Somebody that don't know who she is, they've been living under a rock. And you came up in one of them tips.
Okay.
And we got to make contact with
that's
everybody that comes up in a tip, whether they're at the party, not at the party, we got to talk to them.
I was at that party for 2 hours, and then went back to where I was staying up in Carlton. I seen my kid's mom actually there for
Pribble?
Yeah.
So at this point, the officer has come forth with the information very directly. I think the officer at this point is comfortable enough working with the accused. He's just saying, I'm being straight with you. This is what we're looking at. They're kind of matching each other's tone, matching each other's demeanor. It's just a regular conversation. Obviously, it's about something horrific. The mannerism of the guy is very nonchalant. It's very, oh yeah, I know her. I saw her at a party. I saw it in the news. There is no, oh, that's horrible what happened to her. There's no sort of what we would think is a regular, normal reaction that we would normally see here.
What time did you go to the party?
About 8, 9. I was out of there about 10, 11.
It was still daylight.
It was getting dark.
And I understand that you're not going to remember everything because it's been a long time.
I'd say I probably showed up right as it got dark again.
Were the bands playing?
They were ending as I was getting there.
They were ending?
Yeah, they just ended, I guess, when I got there.
They ended it at midnight?
The bands ended around midnight, and then the fire started right around that time.
They were inside the tent then, the bands were. Okay, I thought that was just concert. I didn't actually go in. I sat out there in that parking lot by the big pile of wood for like ever.
Were you still there when the fire started then, or?
No, they were starting that not long after I left though.
Okay.
Who did you go with?
I don't even remember. I know Frenchie was supposed to go with me, but he didn't.
Who did you go with?
The only person I seen was Tyler. I didn't go with anyone.
You went by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there were hundreds of
I was going to get Tyler a ride home, and then when I went to leave, I was talking to my baby mama, hopped in the car, talked to her, and left.
When you say baby mama, you mean Jessica?
Yeah. Because she followed me out to my car and was saying something to me, and then she was just being pissy.
When was this that you saw her?
As I was leaving. Like, I seen her the whole time I was there. I was pretty much hanging out with her the whole time.
This is what I do with everybody.
Okay.
All right? Relax.
I'm
All right?
I'm trying to remember.
I know it's a long time ago. Let's rewind. Did you get invited by Mike Williams?
No, my baby mom was like, I'm going there, you want to come?
Okay, so just word of mouth.
Yeah. So
do you know Mike Williams?
I've met him before, like forever ago.
Do you guys go to school together by chance?
No, I think he went to Jefferson too, but I just know him through people,
Were you dressed as anything?
Just
plain clothes?
Yeah, shorts and t-shirts.
You weren't like a Peter Pan or something like that?
No, I did see, there was a
so
girl
you were plain clothes?
I do remember a girl there that was dressed up like Alice in Wonderland. She was so hot.
Him saying Peter Pan Wasn't surprising in some ways. He's bringing up something green, similar to what Chelsea was wearing. She was dressed as Poison Ivy. What I was half expecting the officer to say is, oh, were you dressed up like something like Batman or Robin, right? Something from that world, that universe, that would match with Poison Ivy. But I think it's interesting that he brought that up.
This happened years previous to this day, and he's able to remember costumes, details, quite a few things that most people would have forgotten.
Especially if they were drunk or high at the party.
Well, you go to a party, how many parties do you go to? And then, well, I don't remember. That's 4 years ago. I don't even know what time I got there, what time I left. Yeah, I remember being at the party, but I saw some people. He's being pretty direct on what he's remembering.
Probably shorts and a t-shirt. I'm a shorts person.
Even when it's cold out like that, you still wear shorts, you think?
We've had, I sweat a lot.
You drove yourself?
Yeah.
What did you go in?
My friend's car.
Who's your friend?
I don't talk to her anymore. It was just this chick I lived with. I might have actually had Talisa's car that day.
Man, you know a lot of girls.
Talisa's my baby mama. It was just this chick I stayed around. Pretty sure I had Talisa's car. Ford Fusion. Silver Ford Fusion. 08, 09, something like that.
Hers?
Yeah. Well, it was hers. She just got in a wreck a few months back. It was right 2-3 months ago, right before I came to jail. For that 2 weeks I did for fucking mistaken identity.
Okay.
What it was, my nephew, I jumped out to fight this kid. He threw his book bag down. I grabbed the book bag, threw it behind me, said, now you gotta come through me for it.
Apparently it wasn't nothing if they...
My nephew picked up the book bag and took off with the book bag and left me on the side of the road. Come to find out how to tattoo equipment in it. I come to jail for 2 weeks. I ended up giving the kid my tattoo equipment to get myself out of there.
Let's stay on this, all right? Because it's in the past, all right?
Well, this person equates masculinity and dominance with being through the system. He's an old-timer. Nothing bothers him. He's letting us know that he is a physical person, that he's prepared to fight, and so he's bragging. He's letting us know how successful he is in what he considers his role as a male. He's telling us he's got a baby mama and he's got all these other women out there. So he's really showboating a little bit for the interrogator.
So you can see here the officer is being very intentional about how he's behaving, right? He's matching that kind of bravado that he's seeing across the table. He's acting like they're having a buddy-to-buddy kind of conversation. He's matching some of the language. He's saying, oh yeah, you got a lot of girls, you know, going on, like you're with a lot of, he's trying to get that conversation to who are the women in your life.
He's dealing with what I call a rounder. This guy's been around. He knows the system. This detective is treating him the way that makes him feel good. Talking about his women, talking about his drinking. Oh, you're a popular guy, you're a great guy. No, this detective hates this guy probably, but he's playing the game to get him comfortable and to talk. He's hoping that his arrogance and masculinity will be his downfall.
Like, I started getting a little tipsy, so I won't lie, I drove drunk. I mean, I'm not
What's your tipsy?
I don't get drunk.
Were you like...
I don't, like if I'm standing here, like, I'd be standing here like this. I might, wobble a little bit, but, I could still do this number and stuff like that.
So you still had your wits too.
I don't like to get drunk.
You weren't laying down on the ground, laying in your puke.
No, I don't like to get drunk. I smoke weed. Getting a buzz and relaxing is what I want to do. I might have drank a pint total, because I drank some of the Fireball too.
Were you smoking weed at the party too? I know a lot of people were kind of...
I don't think I even smoked any weed there. I think I smoked before I went there, but as it is now, I don't even smoke weed unless I'm sitting at home and someone brings it to my house. Because I've got 3 weed charges, I'm afraid of catching a 4th.
I'm surprised you don't have a medical card yet.
I'm going to get one soon. My child support's more important. I'm going to take care of my kids. I've done coke like twice at parties.
What, like snort coke?
Yeah, snort.
Okay.
This is not a hard-ass detective approach to this situation. He's actually got him in a very calm situation. The back detective's saying very little, and he's way far away in the room, away from him. This guy is going down this guy's alley that he likes to go. The women, the drugs, the booze. He started off, oh, a pint, are you drunk? Like they're talking his lingo. And now he's quite comfortable to say, oh yeah, I know you can't charge me for saying I drove drunk back then. You ain't gonna charge me for possession of drugs because I don't have any, because I got 3 times already. He's almost pretending like he knows as much as the cop about the law and how he can get away with it. But I'm still a cool guy. I'm still a hard dude.
You're hanging out with Jessica. Who else did you see?
Wayne, I think Trevor Stump, but I only seen him for a minute. Not that I know of. Like, I don't know who she was, so, someone like that's just not gonna stick out to me. Like, how many people were at that party?
Yeah, like
how many
almost 1,000.
How many were you estimating there?
Like 2,000.
You think about 2,000?
Really?
I wandered around, like, by that spot. I didn't know a lot of people.
So, I mean, you talked to a couple people, but, you know, did you ever see
not that
Poison
I know
Ivy?
Like, not that I know.
I mean, she probably would have stood out if you saw her.
Yeah, but it's also been 2 years. I seem to remember, like, when this first started coming in the news and stuff, that I remembered seeing her, like the leafy shirt thing.
Yeah, Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
It's pretty distinct, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, but like just seeing her at the party.
Did you know like prior to the party?
Not prior to. Like afterwards, because it was like 5 days later, I went to go pick up Sal a little bit, I won't lie. So,
okay.
And she's like, do you know that my girl that I worked with, you know, come up missing, blah, blah, blah,
okay.
blah.
So you never met her there?
Never met her at the party, never seen her at her work.
Not at Olga's?
Yeah, I did go into Olga's a few times to see Jessica, but I don't remember seeing her there either, you know. I mean, if she's not super hot or something like that, I don't pay attention. I'm shallow a little bit, I won't lie.
I understand, no, it's fine.
The officer's trying to keep the good times rolling. He's using that man's man energy, right? He wants to relate to him, get him to continue opening up, and to do that, he's gonna pretend he's a man's man. Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
already got him to tell that he saw. At first, I never saw her. No idea, didn't see anybody like that. But he's also said, oh, yeah, I did see that costume with the leaves on it. He's now got him at least saying, I did see Poison Ivy at the thing. Clay has made his first error of admission. He saw her at the party.
Daniel Clay's acknowledgement of encountering Chelsea Bruck or someone resembling her at the Halloween party presents investigators with a crucial opportunity to uncover the truth about that October night.
I feel like I seen her that night because I remember talking to Jessica about this. I'm like, yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about, but I don't like.
You never had any contact with her, talked to her?
She was asking people for the phone, shit, to use the phone. She ever like ask you to use your cell phone?
I didn't even know. My phone was dead most
So
of the
if you
time.
would have saw her, it would have been at a distance just...
Yeah, if I mean, I could have walked right past her for all I know, but it's been, what, like almost 2 years
No, I
now?
understand. I think you would remember talking to her.
Yeah, I remember
know.
talking to her, but I don't talk to her. I just remember the party because, you know...
You may have seen her, which is fine. I mean, hundreds of people saw her there.
Yeah.
If you had contact with her, I need to know.
Yeah. As far as I, like, can remember, I don't think I even said a word to her. I don't think I remember, like, even getting close to her. I just feel like I remember seeing the Poison Ivy outfit.
When you left at 10 o'clock, where did you go from there?
Back to where I was staying, and I dropped Lisa's car off and then went to Godwin.
Drop the car off and go?
Dropped the car off, talked to her for a minute and left.
Okay, so you went in and talked and made contact with her. What time do you think this was?
Like probably like 11.
And then you leave there and go to Americana?
Yeah, I had her drop me off at Americana.
Who?
Oh, she dropped you off there?
Yeah.
So she drops you off, or who she dropped you off to?
This is where I was staying at the time. It was just this chick I stayed with.
Another one?
Yeah. But I wasn't messing with this one. She's an uglier chick. She, like...
No, it's all right.
Just this ugly chick. She started letting me stay there because she needed a roommate. I've met her when I worked at the gas station.
Okay.
I was staying there part of the time. Part of the time I was staying at Lisa's.
Okay.
Well, he's telling us what a special kind of guy he is, what a special kind of individual he is, how successful he is as a male, that the physical attractiveness of the girl is what gets his attention, and he would dismiss someone that he would consider ugly and sort of beneath his value system, beneath his standards. He's engaging in a good old boys kind of interaction with the two interrogators, and he's feeling more and more comfortable. He's talking about minor offenses he's made, both legal and ethical mistakes. And he's letting people know that he's not perfect. They know that he's an experienced criminal. And by establishing this kind of rapport, his guard is down, and they're reinforcing this. They're letting them know that they have the same values as he has, that if the girl is ugly, he laughs about it. The interrogator asks about it, so they're on the same page. No resistance yet. The goal is to continue and avoid any kind of resistance or defensiveness on Clay's part.
I'm sure you watched the news.
Yeah.
It was all over the news.
Oh, yeah.
Her body, where we found her body, was Briar Hill Road. You familiar with Briar Hill?
I know that it's near up where Talise lives. It's like back a couple miles back or something. That's
You
what
ever
she
been
said.
there?
No. I mean, I might have rode down it like smoking or something, but... Is that the one you're talking about? There's a school at one end?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So
you're right.
I've been back there. Like, we always were driving down Newburgh. We get to that corner, we bust a U and come back.
Did you ever go down on train tracks or anything?
No.
Did you ever go back?
I've never.
There's ponds back there.
Never been like out of a car back there.
So you never partied back in there or anything? What about Peters Road in Flat Rock? Where there was a costume and her and some stuff.
What's
found.
that nearby?
And there was like a big party spot back there also.
It's like
I don't like party out in the woods and stuff. I party at my house.
Okay. I mean, these are just questions we had asked everybody.
Oh yeah,
we got this information. We got to ask this information.
Trust me, if it was my daughter, I'd be,
absolutely.
Sure
I mean,
if my kid ever missed, I'd die.
It's the same thing. I have children. We all have children. Okay. Yeah. Do anything for our children, right? Mm-hmm. Anything. Die for our children. Mm-hmm.
It's a scary thing that we live in this world.
He said, yeah, my daughter. And then, yes, we all have kids. I have a daughter, too. He's trying to bring this guy into a comfort zone. And maybe he doesn't even have children. He's just saying he does, the police officer. He doesn't have to be honest about it. But he's trying every tactic of subtle friendliness with this guy he can, trying to equate with him at every level with the women, the tough guy approach, blah, blah, blah. He's working with and then he's going to drop something on him pretty soon. He's got him in the vicinity of that girl at the party. He's got him in the vehicle on this road where she was found. He's not stupid enough to say, no, I was never there. He's saying, yeah, I've been there, I saw her. He's just hoping they don't have anything but questioning. Sooner or later, there's going to be a hammer drop here, and we'll see what happens.
Well, one of the things, too, that he's starting to be fidgety with his legs. He wasn't at the beginning when it was all just good cheer. Now he seems to be taking it a little bit more seriously.
He might be thinking this questioning's going on a little too long for a routine interview, and he thinks they read me my rights, they've done everything here. Something's afoot. I don't know what. This is why he's cooperating with I was there, but never got in the car.
But if the accused is wondering why is this going on so long, the officer is trying to quell those questions, right? He's going, well, these are the questions we ask everyone. We got to go through this. You know how it is.
We all got kids. I got a daughter, too. I know what you're going through. This is why he's using that we have children, too approach. It's to keep him comfortable till they're ready to spring this on him.
Some of her clothing was in this building we found right here.
To my knowledge, I've never been back.
Is there any information that you think that would help me?
Not really. I mean, I know some of the areas. I was at the party, but I don't remember, I feel like I remember seeing the shirt, and I feel like I remember, back then seeing it, being like, oh, well, I've seen her, I think. But that's about it.
Hundreds of people saw her.
Yeah, I don't.
But was there anything suspicious?
I don't remember seeing her with anyone specifically or anything like that. I don't remember,
Okay. She was never with you at any time? You never met her prior to the party?
No. I mean, I could have met her. I could have met her at Olga's.
Okay.
When I went up there to see Jessica, but I never said anything.
Did you ever date her at all? You guys ever date? Did you ever communicate with Chelsea on Facebook or text message or?
No, because I even thought about it. I was like, no.
Have you ever had sex with her?
No.
Never.
No.
Okay.
I don't even I've never even flirted with her. Never talked to her.
Never.
Nothing.
No blowjobs.
No.
Anything.
Trust me, I'm a man whore. I remember every chick I've ever slept with, for the most part.
It's like, well, I drove down that street sometimes, right? He's not saying I was there, but he's saying I've been there before. So he's covering his tracks.
He's actually set himself up.
Yeah.
He should have
He's trying to cover his tracks.
Yeah, he's trying to do what criminals do, say I had nothing to do with it. If he had said yes, it would throw that case into a real mess.
That's why you'd find my DNA potentially.
Because they've set him up for the DNA, exactly, and anything else they find at the scene. So his denial is actually a confession of circumstantial evidence. It's a great tactic, and this detective is an old veteran. You can tell he's been dealing with these guys for some time. He knows the lingo, and he just throws the language out of it. As vulgar as it may sound, it has to be done.
I know we've talked about it a lot, Dan. I've been straight up with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I hope that you've been straight up with me.
Yeah.
All right.
Trust me, I got
But
kids.
there's some other information that's out there, all right, that I've asked, and I think it's not been the whole truth.
Okay, like what?
Okay. I have reason to believe I have information that you had contact. So listen.
Like,
okay.
At that party or something?
Yes.
I might have seen her. I don't remember.
But when I say, remember I clarified, you might have seen her.
I mean, yeah, I said I might have seen her.
When I say contact, I mean physical contact.
Oh, no.
Okay. What if I told you that your DNA was on her?
I don't know how my DNA got on her.
Okay.
Like, no way, no nothing, no how.
What if I told you that your DNA was on her?
Then why did you just take my DNA again? then you would have to have my DNA from before. So, but I don't.
I'm not. Listen, listen, Daniel.
Sure.
I am not trying to trick you. I'm looking you straight in your face. I will actually show you what I have from the crime lab.
Okay.
All right, and I'm telling you that your DNA is on there.
I have no idea how.
We need to figure out how it got there.
I have no idea.
Nobody can. I mean, that just doesn't show up. No, it's fine. It's fine.
His actual body language didn't change a lot. If I was confronted with the fact that DNA was found on a corpse that was murdered years ago, I'd have flipped out. He has not flipped out.
Even though I don't know for a fact that he's a sociopath or has an antisocial personality disorder, he is exhibiting the symptoms and signs we would expect. So I think we can look at behavior and we can speculate on a diagnosis and on a history. But he's showing all of the signs of a person who has sociopathic personality.
But it freaks me out a little bit. I don't know,
Well, it freaks me out too. It really, truly, honestly does. It freaks me out. But I need to know. DNA was found on her.
No
okay?
idea.
You had to be with her. You know why? It's a 1 in gazillion that your DNA was on her.
Like what kind of DNA? Like a hair or something?
DNA. Like fluid DNA.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I really do not have.
You believe me?
That's what you're saying. I mean, I guess.
I'm asking. Do you believe me?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. I am not tricking you.
So the reason that the accused is asking the officer, what do you mean, like a hair? What did you find? Is because he wants to know just how much do you know, because that's going to impact the kind of story that I'm going to be telling. If you found semen, that's a very different story than if you found something that's like saliva or a hair or whatever.
Investigators have confronted prime suspect Daniel Clay with DNA evidence. Clay has repeatedly denied any contact with Chelsea Bruck, and now investigators are going to have to slime their way into Clay's psyche if they hope to get a confession.
DNA was found on her.
No,
okay? You had to be with her. You know why? It's a 1 in gazillion that your DNA was on her.
Like what kind of DNA? Like a hair or something?
DNA.
Like, I really do not have.
You believe me?
That's what you're saying. I mean, I guess.
I'm asking. Do you believe me?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. I am not tricking you. I am straight up with you.
I have no idea how my DNA got on her.
Did you? And you're the ladies' man.
Yeah,
I mean, you are.
I don't have to do anything stupid to get vagina. Yeah. I get enough vagina elsewhere.
So listen, you're the ladies' man. If something happens, something happened. We know. So listen.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys have been.
Know everything about her. Everything. And I know she was promiscuous. And she was very flirtatious. And she was very sexual.
Okay.
Very.
Okay.
Okay? Very. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Your DNA is on her.
I have no idea how.
Your DNA is on her, Daniel.
I really do not know how.
So, at some time, you came in contact with her.
Could it be like spit or something, or is it like semen DNA?
It's not spit.
Like how?
Right? Because I'm not quite sure how your spit would be on her if you weren't up.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I could have walked by her talking or something.
But we're not talking about a brush.
No.
It's not a brush. Your DNA is on her.
I have no idea.
That was the first thing I wrote, was victim blaming. That's what the officer is doing. Does the officer actually think the things he's saying? No. I mean, you definitely hope not, especially when you're in a position of power like that. But likely in this case, right, what he's doing is he's placating to the accused. He's saying, yeah, you're a ladies' man. And she was someone who was loose and promiscuous and sexual and sensual, all of those things, right? He's basically like leading a horse to water, right? He's trying to say, let's make that connection right now, because we know what we know with this DNA evidence. So give me some information here. Be direct with me.
And he's offering him an option, like it might have been an accident option in another case. We understand who you are and what you are. We understand that she is promiscuous, etc. Talk about it a little bit more.
This is exposing the side of interviewing that the public never get to see. No police officer would like to talk like he does. That's part of the game of making the suspect feel comfortable. You do and say things that are below you in order to make the suspect warm to you or say something. They don't have a real powerful case here. They have a corpse that's really old. They got no witnesses to tie him to her very much at this point in time. Yet they have this DNA. They need a step over the line for a confession or putting him at the scene. So they're doing this uncharacteristically foul language with him to bring him into a comfort zone. He wants to get Clay to confess to the fact he knows the girl. It makes it easier to prove when you go up to a judge and jury or a court. If he says, I had no idea how I got there, that's reasonable doubt. What you need is some circumstantial evidence, reasonable and probable grounds is what they call it, for him to be with her at some point in a manner where there was sex involved, which would have led to her death by some means.
My DNA is on her, then I think I need a lawyer, but I have no idea how my DNA is on her.
Okay.
I really have no idea. Like,
you just mentioned the lawyer. Okay.
Yeah, like if my DNA is that I'm obviously getting charged with something or something, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
When you talk about a lawyer, all right, I gotta stop. I can't talk to you about anything anymore.
I'll listen to talk for now. I don't want to.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
because
right this minute, because I didn't do anything. I know I didn't do anything. So
hold on. Relax. All right. I have to confirm that you do not want an attorney to talk with you while I talk to you about
I do not want an attorney yet.
Okay. So you do not want an attorney right now while we're talking about this.
Right now, I'm fine. Okay. I want to know what's the DNA. I want to know.
I'm going to show you.
Okay.
But you mentioned attorney to me.
I'm fine.
I'm not supposed to talk any more about it.
Okay.
But I want to. But I have to have your approval, your permission to talk to you further.
You have my permission to talk
without your attorney.
Yes.
If I was a civilian sitting in that chair, I'd be screaming for my lawyer loud and clear right now. You are about to go down with the police officer into examining DNA, which is going to put you into a court of law to possibly convicted for murder or sexual assault. He took the first blush, and I would have done the same thing. I think I should talk to a lawyer, shouldn't I? And then, do you want to talk to a lawyer? I can't talk to you anymore. Oh, no, I still want to talk to you. He still wants to know the DNA thing. And I probably would do the same thing if I was in his position. I want to see what you've got, then I'm going to get my lawyer. So it's a normal thing, but he's made a mistake here. He should have got the lawyer and put the interview off and gone and got his rights. That's my civilian perspective.
But ultimately, he's incredibly curious, right? When somebody puts something like that on the table, you want to know. When it's your life on the line, you want to know what's going on.
This is, again, a very intriguing situation where he's basically gave up his freedom to see the DNA that's going to put him away.
Look at me. I am not here to fuck you. Not at all.
I know.
I'm here to get truth. It has to happen here. It has to happen here. For me to help you, it has to happen. Did you kill her? I don't know.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
And I'll believe it. I will believe you with that.
To my knowledge, remember ever having sex with her.
Let me stop you real quick, Daniel. To my knowledge is not a definite.
Okay, well, like, unless I was fucked up and don't remember.
Right. Well, that could be it.
I don't really get that fucked up.
But that's why I asked you, how fucked up were you?
I was,
okay,
I was drunk, but not drunk. I was still, I remember most of the night after I left. Like, I remember driving home safe. I didn't crash or nothing, so I had to be sober enough to do that.
Could you have had sex with her and thought it was somebody else?
Not to my knowledge.
Is that a possibility?
Not to my knowledge. Unless I was that fucked up.
Is it a possibility?
It's a possibility, yeah. I could have done something with her at that party when I was all fucked up, but I went home alone.
Okay. You could have been fucked up at that party.
Yeah.
I know she was fucked up. She's carrying around a wine bottle, drinking out of a wine.
I was gonna say, isn't the picture on the big ass wine bottle?
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that picture.
She's tripping on shit. She's puking everywhere.
So the thing is you're drinking, she's drinking. It's dark.
I mean, there's a possibility
that you had sex with her.
There is a possibility.
Okay. But that possibility.
I was fucked up at that party. Okay. I remember getting there, getting fucked up, being there for a couple hours. I remember getting in that car and leaving. Did not pick anyone up.
At that party, there's a possibility you could have sex with her.
I remember doing a lot of stupid shit at that party. I know I had sex that day twice, but I don't think it was her because there was a girl named Nicole and then a girl named
Daniel, you remember everybody else that you fucked?
Yeah, I fucked
fat girls, skinny girls.
I fucked a lot of people.
Well, I'm sure you forgot in time.
Yeah.
All right, but we're talking about this thing. I mean, it's a big event.
It was not her. It could not have been her.
It's a big event.
I had sex with someone, and I just don't.
Okay.
Like, I was out in the car and I fucked somebody, and then not long later, I talked to my baby mama, got in the car, and left.
Okay.
I remember.
So when you had sex in the car.
Yeah.
Okay. What car?
Talisa.
So it was Talisa's car.
Yeah.
You
I
had
got
sex.
in the backseat, had sex, and hopped out.
Did you use a rubber?
Probably not.
Do you think that's where that DNA came from?
I mean, it could be, but I didn't. I don't remember like her being in a costume. I honestly don't think it was her that I had sex with.
But it's a possibility.
I'm saying it could be. I remember having sex with her, but she wasn't blonde. She had dark hair. Sat a little bit, I won't lie.
She was wearing a wig.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was dark hair, and I could have sworn she had t-shirt. I don't remember no leaves. Like, I remember seeing this thing.
But you were intoxicated, right?
Yeah, but I just remember, like, having sex, because I know I had sex there, and I had sex before I went there.
You had sex with her. This tells me you had just with her.
Honestly, I didn't think it was her.
You don't know.
It was a dark-haired, thick chick.
Well, she was kind of thick.
Like, I thought she looked skinny in her pictures.
No, I mean, she was thicker.
Not
like thick.
Like, she was thick, but not too thick. She couldn't get on top. I remember that because I was too fucked up to sit on top.
She was just thick enough to lay in that back seat and have sex.
We're seeing a lot of inconsistencies with his memory, right? We're seeing him saying, initially, it happened within seconds. He goes, I wasn't messed up, I wasn't drunk. And then within seconds, he goes, well, yeah, I was messed up, I was drunk.
Through rapport and conversation, investigators have managed to get Daniel Clay to admit he had sex with someone at the party. Now, to make this case rock solid, they will try to get Clay to tell them everything that happened that night.
You told me yourself you drove down Briar Hill.
Which one's Briar Hill?
The one out there off of Newburgh around the corner where you would go and smoke.
Oh, yeah. During the day after work, I'd smoke. I never went down that road that night.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Daniel.
No, I did not. Not in my baby mama's car.
Hey, Daniel, this girl that you had sex with at the party, okay, what was she wearing?
I just remember like a tight pants and a t-shirt or something, I thought.
Okay.
It might have been the Leaf thing, but I don't remember, like...
You think you would remember that if it was a Leaf, if she had a Leaf costume?
I was wasted.
Okay.
I just remember
that girl
said, hey, let's, and then...
The girl that you had sex with, did she take her own clothes off? Did you take them off? How'd that go?
She took them off. All she took was her pants off.
I have a couple issues with that, I guess. Okay, I think you were at the party later and you're saying you were.
It could have been a little later, but I could have sworn it was around dark.
It was later, though, because with about 10:30, 11 o'clock. I didn't know how that costume came off her.
When I was with her, she just pulled the pants down. At the front seat, was with her, she just pulled the pants down, hopped on my lap, and we had sex for like 5-10 minutes.
The crime lab is telling at one point the costume was torn.
That was not by me.
But the thing is both of them. You said yourself and her. You said yourself and her were freaks. All right.
Yeah, but I didn't have freaky sex. I just had plain Jane. Let's get this.
Okay.
Let's nut. Let's go.
Well, you have sex after you left the party. Did you go to Briar Hill Road and have sex?
No, I sat a little bit out parking lot at that party. Back seat. Not the trunk, not the front seat.
After you left the party?
No.
After you left the party?
No.
At one point after you left the party?
No, she was not.
Yes, she was.
No, she was not.
She was.
No, she was not.
We started off on the wrong foot.
I know. I shouldn't have said I had sex. I should have. I mean, I didn't think it was her because it was dark hair. I didn't know she had a wig on.
I gotta confront you. You know what I mean? And I don't want to have to do that.
I told you. Okay. I had sex with somebody in the backseat of my car.
Right. I'm telling you right now. I do not think you're a murderer. You guys went to Briar Hill Road.
We did not go to
Briar Hill. And had sex.
We did not. We had sex in the car.
But you did not have.
Listen, whatever.
You did not have any intent to hurt her.
I didn't do anything to her. She was fine and breathing when I left her. She got out of the car and walked away.
I remember back in the scene where we said he would probably at some point try to justify how she had his DNA on her. This is what he's doing now. Yes, okay, I had sex with her probably. Didn't know it was her, it was in the back of the car, but she got out and walked away. Now they're throwing a little other tidbit at him about the torn pants.
But they moved him along.
Well, they're moving him.
They moved him along to, I had a half a pint and I get a little shaky, but I never really get drunk, to I was drunk and didn't know what I was doing. So they've moved him along masterfully by not encountering any resistance from him, and they did that in that distasteful way of demonizing the victim and helping him rationalize how something like this can happen.
This is part of the Reed technique. The Reed technique utilizes psychological constructs that could be seen as justifications for a crime in order to push a suspect into a confession. They're empathizing with him, and they're making him feel like they understand exactly what happened, They're almost making him like a victim of this case. This did not go the way you wanted. You were caught in a bad situation. It's one of the techniques you use to break someone, and it'll flip around the other way when they get the break.
I've lost my family, I've lost my girlfriend, I've lost everything.
Daniel, listen to me, all right? It happened. You manned up and you told us what happened, okay?
Yeah, after I got caught.
But listen.
It don't matter.
Listen, all right? When you listen to me, all right? It's yours, just relax, okay?
Freaking out.
But I need to know.
Every cigarette you give me until
Daniel, let's get on track here. All right? So did you two have sex at the party, the first sex?
Yeah.
And then you left?
Yeah, we weren't, but just not far down the road, because there were still cars, you could still see the fucking
okay, I'm gonna ask you.
We had sex.
I'm gonna ask
the second time when it happened.
The second time you had sex, was it on War Road?
No, it was it War Road that the party's on? Whatever
Post.
Whatever road that's connected like this, you know, here's Post, here's his house. I don't know which way it was, but I pulled out. We didn't even go.
Well, this is why I'm asking you, because her shoe was at War Road. So her shoe was left on the side there.
We're at War Road, like War
Just
Road.
right off of
Post
Post.
Shoulder of the road.
I have no idea how her shoe got there.
Is that where you had sex?
No, it could have been like right near his War Road, near his house.
Yeah.
Then that's probably because we could still like.
You just have War Road's the way you would take home the Newport Road.
Yeah. So we weren't that far from his house when we had sex the second time.
Okay. So that could have been right there where her shoe was found.
Could have been. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she got out of the car, she peed before we had sex the second time.
And I'm trying to clear
that could have been where her shoe is. I don't know.
I'm trying to clear all questions. Okay. So she got out of the car and peed there.
Yeah. Got back in the car.
Then got in the car. Where'd you go from there?
We had sex right there. And then,
right on the side of the road?
Yeah.
In the car or outside the car?
In the car.
Okay.
It was in the back seat, and it wasn't Talisa's car. It was in Goblin's car.
Goblin?
Okay. Positive on that.
Yes, because Talisa wouldn't let me take her car that day. Now that I think about it, like she got mad because I tried to take her car earlier on in the day, and she knows I didn't have a license and shit. So I ended up taking Goblin's car. I have no idea how the clothes got where they were.
Well, listen, we'll get to that. When you guys had sex on the side of War Road, is that where it got freaky?
Yeah, we were in the back.
Explain freaky.
Like biting me and smacking me, and I was choking her and smacking her, like not like violently.
Was you choking her with one hand, two hands? Because she loved to be choked.
I just remember we were messing around, and then she got underneath me. She's like, choke me. She's like, you know, she's telling me to fuck her harder, stuff like that.
Is this when you're choking her?
Yeah.
Is she telling you, choke me?
She told me to choke her. I choked her. Then we switched because she got underneath me. I don't know. We were fucking for a minute, and then she kind of stopped, and she went limp. So I stopped, and like, you know, I started tapping her face, and I guess I choked her too hard or something.
Okay.
I wasn't even choking her that hard. I didn't think. I freaked out. I drove around for like 5 minutes with her in the back seat.
What did you leave out there?
Where she was at?
Yes.
Just her.
Daniel Clay has confessed to the murder of Chelsea Bruck. The police get as much evidence as they can as they get him to keep talking.
I freaked out. I drove around for like 5 minutes with her in the back seat, and then I ended up over by Talisa's.
Up by Briar Hill?
Yeah, and I just kind of like took her and walked her back there. But the clothes I left, I honestly thought I left them in the car until like the next day, and then I didn't know where the fuck they went. Like I don't know where you're talking about they were found. Like I'm not familiar with that.
So you never took the clothes to Peters?
And I didn't leave them. I don't think I left them in her car. I could have swore I left them on the side of the road or something.
What did you leave out there?
Where she was at?
Yes.
Just her. She was butt-ass naked. I didn't think to grab her clothes. I just grabbed her, like got her out of the car, walked her like 10 feet and sat her down.
How did you get her? How did you get her out?
I just picked her up and carried her.
Where did you park at?
I was on the side of the tracks.
Did you back down, pull down?
Just pulled down a little path right there next to it.
So
I just seen some spot and I was like, I was freaking out. And
She was in the backseat of the car? How did you get her out? Is it a four-door car?
Yeah.
Okay, so you grabbed her?
I just picked her up. Cause like I tried waking her up for like 5-10 minutes and she couldn't. She didn't respond, nothing. Like there was no pulse. Like
she was dead then.
I even put, cause I had one of them little compact mirrors. I remember seeing it on TV. Like for some reason it just stuck with me on like CSI or something. To see if her breath was showing up and nothing.
So
like, I tried. I don't know how to do CPR.
Right. And you know the thing. Listen.
And breathe in and push in and breathe in.
You're freaking out.
Daniel, you were freaking out. So you pull her out of that car and you put her in that place.
I sat there. I cried my ass off for like 20 minutes. Then I went back to Goblins. And I.
Who did you tell?
No one. I remember just sitting there crying, and I took a bunch of pills. Like, I thought I was gonna die, and I ended up waking up the next day all puking my guts out, I was puking up blood.
Let me ask you this. You said you took her out of the car back in Briar Hill Road, okay? You took her out of the car. Did you carry her or drag her?
I just kind of picked her up and carried her.
And then tell me some obstacles. Was there like...
There was just some trees and stuff, and I kind of walked her like 10, 15, 20
Did you have to take her through a ditch?
No, I picked her up.
Carried her?
I'm a big dude.
How did you lay her down?
Tossed
Was she
her
on like
down.
her side, back? Or...
Kind of tossed her down, and then like freaked out and was trying to toss sticks and stuff on her. I didn't even toss that much on her.
What all did you put on top of her?
Just a couple branches and some leaves.
How big would you say these branches were?
A couple of them were kind of big, I guess.
Like limbs from trees there? Or?
Yeah, just branches that were right there where I dropped her.
And you kept, to cover her up then, or?
Because I was freaking out.
You said you put some leaves on top of her also?
Yeah, and then I just kind of stopped, and because I like literally sat like right next to where she was for like 10, 20 minutes, just crying.
What we're seeing here is that there's a clear culture of toxic masculinity. We see that in domestic violence cases all the time. And we see that toxic masculinity, these misogynistic attitudes, perpetuate the types of violence that we see that are predominantly against women, specifically sexual violence in this case. Although horrible, the technique that the officers have been using here, using victim blaming, the objectification of women, and using misogynistic type of language like, oh, you gotta man up. Right? What does it mean to be a man? And talking about women and their use as far as sexual pleasure. Although that is horrible, it facilitated a confession in this case.
I have to give kudos to these police officers who went to the toolbox of things that are available and used one of the darkest tools in that box, which was the victim blaming, the use of foul language, the use of sexual terms. But when you're dealing with the sectors of society that are predators like this Clay character, you just can't treat these people with kid gloves. You have to go after them with everything to ensure, A, there's never going to be another victim of him, and B, that the family of that Chelsea is going to know that the police did everything to catch the person that murdered their daughter.
Let's focus on who the victim was. And I don't think any of us would feel comfortable if the police went to the family of the victim and said, we could have used some techniques to elicit a confession from him, but because we wanted to respect his dignity and we didn't want to trick him, that we just have to let him go. These people are pragmatic. They have to be pragmatic. They have to find what is the right tool for the right job, and they did it. So I don't personally think that the technique that they used to coax him along and rationalize his behavior by putting some of the blame on the victim, I don't think that that was so horrible. I think it was pragmatic. We know that they didn't particularly believe that, but that's something that they had to do.